No, I don't know how he got out. What was he wearing? Wait, he's here. No, he's fine, I'm sure. Of course I remember, but he's just a kid. He doesn't understand all this. It won't happen again, I promise. Owen, where have you been?
Outside, looking at the stars. Stop calling me Owen.
Send me love every day and send me on my way. Deliver me, just deliver me.
Oh, good morning, Ms. McInerney. I trust you had a good weekend.
I did. I went to the Digital Sports Expo at the Convention Center. I skied Mount Everest, windsurfed Acapulco, and swam the English Channel. And that was just at the Video Vacations exhibit.
All that adventure without the inconvenience of fresh air and sunshine. It's ingenious.
What about you? What did you do? Anything exciting?
Ms. McInerney, I don't think you've been with this department long enough to fully grasp the extent to which we are comfortable sharing personal information.
So you're not gonna share with me what you did this weekend?
No?
Oh, so last week when you told me that your wife left you last year and is now somewhere at large in Paris, that was somehow different.
Everyone, please be prepared to present our best faces today. We have been assigned a new supervisor who...
Oh, I saw her, Teresa Capodimonte, or something Italian.
Teresa Capodimonte?
Yeah, that's it. She's rather mature looking.
Teresa Capodimonte is a legend. Do you see this cup? This is only given to exceptional individuals who have distinguished themselves in the service of mail delivery.
Dark of Night Award.
Neither rain, nor sleet, nor dark of night.
This is my grandfather's.
Teresa Capodimonte has 6 cups.
She's a rock star.
6-time Dark of Night honoree, a government pay-grade pioneer, not to mention Miss Special Delivery of 1969. She is a goddess in the postal acropolis. And she's really right out there.
Actually, she's
right in here, honey.
Oh my goodness, Miss Capodimonte, welcome.
My dear,
I'm,
you are Oliver O'Toole. I knew your grandfather.
You did?
He was so strong, so powerful. What a mind, what hands. That man could hand stamp anything. I see him in you.
You do?
Oh, yes. You have his hands. And his cup, apparently.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
And you, darlings, tell me, you are?
Norman Xavier Dorman, Jr.
Norman Dorman? Yeah, a pleasure. And Rita Hayworth.
Oh, it's actually with. So Rita Hayworth.
With. Precious. You know, the real Rita was a lot taller. I handled her parcel post back in my days at the Hollywood Wilcox station.
The Hollywood Station at Wilcox? That's on the National Register of Historical Places. You were there?
Darling, I've worked them all, and I always deliver. And you must be...
Shane.
Oh.
Shane McInerney.
Miss McInerney worked in direct line operations, but a small miracle brought her to us.
There are no small miracles, Oliver. Only big miracles. They only seem small because we stand so far away from them.
Well, that's something.
Now, I have heard so much about this amazing little team of yours. And before we make any changes, I want to understand your inner sanctum. Now, don't mind me. I'm just going to be here, and you do that voodoo that you do, well...
Sorry, changes?
I have heard that the 4 of you have a way of thinking outside the mailbox.
Well, we do occasionally,
Push the envelope?
Oh, aren't you adorable? Okay, Oliver, show me the magic.
All right. Address to Grandma. No first name, no surname. Address is lend him her manners.
Ooh, tough one.
Mr. O'Toole has perhaps the finest mail recovery instincts of anyone I've ever worked with.
Norman, age of child?
Between 9 and 10.
Reverse side includes a child's drawing and a P.S. I'm bringing More spoons so we can make another one.
Lend him her manners. Her manners. Manor?
Lend him her manor? Oh, lend him her manor retirement home, 442 Hampton Boulevard, 80210.
Bravo. Send it off to Grandma.
Yes, but which grandma?
No flies on you, Oliver.
I certainly hope not. In the case where we lack a definitive surname, we have no choice but to. Ms. Capodiamonte, would you like to do the honors?
Sure. It's like Christmas. No.
Dear Grandma, I miss you. I miss you so much. I miss walking to school with you. We have to walk 3 whole blocks to dumb old Lenox Heights Elementary now. I miss making spoons with you. I have mine on our apple tree outside. How about you? I need spoons.
What's with this kid and spoons?
You told me I can't see you for a long time. and
It's not fair, Grandma. I really, really hate it. Especially because I don't want to miss your birthday. Because we always have peanut butter and banana pancakes for breakfast.
I think you live right down the road, so that can't be so far. So I am going to sneak out at 9 o'clock and ride my bike all night until I get there. Don't worry, I have plenty of air in my tires. See you Tuesday morning. Love, your best friend, you know who. You have to call me Owen now. Postmark is Fort Collins.
Oh, my cousin Wade is a real estate tycoon there. He owes me $38.
Fort Collins?
Fort Collins, 32.4 miles from Lendemer Manor.
Oh, that's way too far for a little boy to be riding his bike alone at night.
Oliver, when was that letter mailed?
Last Friday. So that little boy is going to sneak out of his house, run away from home. Tonight.
Okay. Recon Lindemer Manor Retirement Home, ID Grandma, deliver communique, debrief subject, intercept the kid, AKA Owen. Thwart his exit. Mission accomplished.
What's all that, Norman?
This is my field kit. I'm thinking now that we're gonna be in the field more, we should be prepared for anything.
Yeah, because you never know when Grandma might go rogue on you.
No, you don't.
Does it really take 4 people to deliver a letter to Grandma?
No postal worker stands taller than when he or she stoops to deliver to the least of these. Your grandfather taught me that.
Everybody's so busy here. Where are all the old people?
Oh, my grandma got a black belt in Taekwondo when she was 85.
So now what?
There's someone who may help us.
Wow, look at all those stamps. Is that a 2002 Olympic bobsled commemorative?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You're like the mail police?
We investigate difficult delivery situations.
Sort of like male detective agent people.
Now, it is imperative that we locate the woman to whom this letter is addressed today.
Grandma. Well, that narrows it down.
Sorry, can't let you read the contents.
Federal regulation.
Well, maybe if you told me what it says, I'd recognize the name. Everybody brags about their grandchildren.
Has anyone ever mentioned an Owen?
Owen. No, that's a new one. Of course, I've only been here a few months. How can I help?
Pardon me, ma'am. I represent the United States Postal Service. Are you currently, or have you ever been referred to by a grandchild as Grandma?
Grandma? No, they call me Puppy.
Grandma?
Momo. Grammy, get me peaches.
Well, so far I've got 2 Nonas, 3 Mamas, and a Bubby.
Oma, Ama, Mimi, Nini.
I got a couple of Momos, 2 Mormors, 3 Babas, and, Shirley.
Oh, Shirley, I met her. She was left at the altar in 1959 by a butcher who disappeared the night before their wedding. Shirley suspects that he was abducted by aliens. I also think that she has a problem with stealing things. Like, I think she lifted your tablet. Excuse me, Shirley? I think you may have mistaken my tablet there for your own.
Oh, I was just checking it for transmissions of prime numbers from the Vega solar system.
Well, that's very kind of you. Good news, I did that this morning, and all the numbers were random.
Oh, man. Well, that's a 5-cent jumbo 505 air-graded Jefferson.
My daddy gave me that. And you're the first one ever to recognize it.
I used to sell stamps at the Park Hill branch, until Oliver said I had special gifts and then brought me to the dead letter office.
And what do you do there?
Oh, sorry, Arlene. That's classified. But tell me about your dad.
He left me his entire stamp collection when he died. He said he hoped that when I looked at them, I would smile and think of him. And I do.
There must be some ladies in residence here who are referred to by their descendants as Grandma.
I could post it on the bulletin board.
I'm sorry, the privacy of every letter that passes through the U.S. Post Office is a sacred trust and one we take very seriously.
Wait, did you try the piano room? Okay, everybody, take 5. These folks are from the post office. If you have a grandson who calls you Grandma, please raise your hand.
Well, I guess all the grandmas are in show business.
Thank you, ladies. I have a letter here written by a boy approximately 9 years of age. I can't share details, but do obscure references to spoons ring a bell with anyone? Cutlery of any kind? Anyone?
Does anyone have a birthday anytime soon?
Oh, very good, Rita. Birthdays.
Vivian, dear, don't we have a birthday tomorrow?
No.
Of course you do, Vivian. Come, let's talk to this nice man. Here we go, dear. She can remember songs and dance steps, but she can't remember much of anything else sometimes.
Do you remember everyone's birthday?
It's my job. This is Vivian Lassiter, one of my favorite people and the star of our show, aren't we, Miss Viv?
Mrs. Lassiter, first of all, happy birthday. My name is Oliver O'Toole. I believe this belongs to you. I apologize. It was necessary to open it in order to locate you.
Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time. Would you get me my red sweater?
We look a little peaked, Miss Viv. Maybe I should stay with you.
Oh, I really don't think that would be necessary. You, dear, why don't you get it for me? Room 224 by the window.
Oh, I'd be happy to. Would you like one of us to read it to you?
Why? It doesn't belong to me.
Do you recognize the handwriting? Or the picture on the back, perhaps? I bet that is you and Owen.
No, I don't know anyone named Owen.
Are you sure? Maybe you just haven't seen him for a while. She doesn't get a lot of visitors.
Mrs. Lassiter, if this is your grandson, we really need to know. It's important.
Mrs. Lassiter, I'd like to leave this with you. But if you refuse to accept delivery, we have no choice but to maintain possession.
Vivian, read the letter. Or let me read it for you. There might be something important in there.
No. Just go away and bother someone else, young lady. What about Sally over there? When's her birthday?
I don't know, but Vivian, dear heart,
If there's something...
Where is that girl with my sweater?
Sorry. Here you go.
Thank you. Now, please just take your letter and go away.
We're very sorry to have troubled you.
I need a nap.
Norman!
Oh, I have to go.
I wonder if your grandfather taught her that.
Oh dear.
Told you we should have gone to lunch.
I ran away once to New York to trade the boards and become a real hoofer.
Oh, you wanted to shoe horses?
No, a hoofer is a dancer on Broadway, Norman.
Oh, I think that's lovely and very romantic.
But I thought the Postal Service was in your blood.
It was in my father's blood, not mine. He never had a son, so I was the one who was carrying on the family tradition. The things we sacrifice for the people we love. But hey, look at me. What did you call me? A goddess in the postal Acropolis?
Did you ever get to New York?
I got as far as the bus depot. And my parents caught up to me and brought me home. But they were right. I was too young. But then, I waited too long. And I woke up one day and I was too old. So, to thine own self be true, right? That's what your grandfather always said.
Yes, he loved his Shakespeare.
And you loved him. I can tell.
Well, I wished he had lived longer, so I could have known him better.
You're a good boy, Oliver. Yeah. So, tell me, did you find your grandma?
We think we did, but she wouldn't admit it.
I think that Owen is her grandson. There's something that she's not saying because it just doesn't add up.
Did you notice how Mrs. Lassiter became upset when she saw Owen's drawing on the back of the envelope?
That's when she asked Donna to leave to get her sweater. But when I brought it back, she never put it on.
Vivian wanted Donna to leave the room.
And Donna was awfully eager to read that letter.
And Vivian made an awfully big deal about how she didn't know anybody named Owen.
Wait a second, didn't Donna say she knew everyone's birthday?
That's right. Except she didn't know Sally's, and Vivian made sure that we heard that.
So Donna's taken a real interest in Vivian. But why?
Spoons! I saw them! She had wind chimes in her room made out of old spoons. I bet you that's why Vivian got me to go get her sweater.
And Owen was bringing more spoons to make another one.
What was it you said about family and how we make sacrifices for those that we love?
Yes.
Vivian wasn't rejecting Owen.
She was protecting him. So Norman, dig up anything you can about Donna. Rita, do whatever you have to do to keep Donna away from Vivian. We rendezvous back here in 20 minutes.
Hi. You're back. Yeah, well, I couldn't stop thinking about this sweet lady that I met today, and I promised that I'd come back and visit her.
And who would that be?
Well, she had gray hair. She talked to extraterrestrials, and she steals things She reminds me of my mother. That would be Shirley. If you've come back to see her or anyone else, you're gonna have to check in again at the front desk. Oh, that's so great. Except that there's nobody at the front desk, so I thought that maybe I could check in with you.
Norman! Oh, Arlene. Hi. I was just looking for you.
Mrs. Lassiter? Do you remember what Owen said? I miss making spoons with you. I have mine hanging on the apple tree outside. I bet they both made one.
We did. The day we made those wind chimes was the last day I saw him. I said they sounded like little birds saying a prayer. And he said no matter how far apart we are, we should always leave them up. So that when the wind blew, it would be as if our wind chimes were saying their prayers together. You never imagine when you get to be my age that a 9-year-old boy could be your best friend, or that I could be his.
Mrs. Lassiter, your grandson needs you very much. If you trust us, we'll do everything in our power to help you.
I know you would try, but you can't.
Mrs. Lassiter. Please. Where's Owen?
His name is Casey. And I don't know where he is. I don't know where any of them are.
Do you mean your family? Are they in trouble?
They're in witness protection.
So Owen's, Casey's father witnessed a crime then?
No, Casey did. He was riding his bike down an alley and he stumbled onto some low-life narcotics ring just before a shooting. And now my grandson is the star witness, and he and the family have had to hide out at some undisclosed location until he can testify against them at the trial next week.
Here it is. The trial of drug kingpin Laszlo Sarrazin begins next Monday in federal court. And wait, there's a picture of the guy. And oh, wow.
Oliver, you might want to take a look at this.
It's a picture of Donna, only she's blonde and her name is Sylvia. She's suspected of drug trafficking.
Someone made terrible, terrible threats against my Casey's life. And if that letter has anything in it that could lead them back to him or the family, Donna must never read that letter.
Mrs. Lassiter, he's planning to run away tonight to surprise you for your birthday.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I should have gone with them when this whole thing started. They wanted me to, and I was afraid I was just going to be a burden. And now with Casey looking for me, I'm worse than a burden. I'm a liability.
Mrs. Lassiter, I know how he feels. If I could get on a bicycle and ride to my grandfather tonight, I would. But I can't. You are a strong and brave woman who loves her family so much, she was willing to sacrifice the rest of her days with them in order to keep them safe. Maybe Casey didn't write that in so many words, but the words he did write of spoons and apple trees and peanut butter pancakes, those words might as well be a sonnet by Shakespeare because they say the very same things, that you are known and loved and missed. Casey's words are beautiful, Vivian. They are gonna lead us right to him tonight. If you just trust us.
But it was the only time. And it was only one camel, so technically it wasn't a caravan.
My lips are sealed. Oh, but you should never apologize for being curious, Norman.
You're so easy to talk to, Arlene.
So are you. Oh, this is my room. And I'd like you to have these.
Oh, no, I can't. I couldn't. But I will come back and visit, and we can look at them again.
Soon, Norman. Come soon.
I promise.
Norman, let's go.
Arlene says Donna's really rude, and she wears white after Labor Day.
So then my mother decided to make the crop circles a little bit bigger for the aliens to see. But we lived in a duplex, and the lady next door decided that she wanted to plant organic vegetables in the backyard, which you can imagine. I mean, it really changed the entire look of.
Ah, Rita, there you are. So we're all set.
Hey, whatever happened to Vivian's letter?
Well, as it turns out, it wasn't Vivian's letter at all. Which reminds me, I just saw her walking towards the kitchen. Something about flambéing a creme brulee. It sounds a bit risky for a lady in her condition. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that's it. I didn't bring much.
So when Oliver gets here, we're only gonna have a minute. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
I wish that we could walk out with you. We can't risk running into Donna. There they are.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lassiter, are you sure about all this? Once you leave, you cannot return.
Yes.
All right.
I don't mind trying to climb.
No, we can't risk it. Besides, if you fell, Casey would never forgive us.
Oh, wait a minute.
Please allow me, Miss McInerney.
Vivian? I've been looking for you. I thought you might have had a visitor.
No, I was just taking a nap.
Oh, that's right. Well, we have rehearsal in a few minutes. Are you going somewhere?
Yes, I just thought I'd go out to the garden and take a walk and get some fresh air.
Well, you stay warm out there, dear, and don't take too long. We need your beautiful voice. You don't think she would actually hurt a little boy, do you?
I'm afraid she would. She's gone to a lot of trouble to find him already.
Oh, dear Lord.
Rita, any luck getting through to the marshal's office?
I keep trying, but every time I mention the spoons, they just put me on hold.
Rita, don't lead with the spoons.
Oh.
You know, you'd think the witness protection people would want to know about something like this.
Well, they're probably too busy out there protecting everybody.
Wait, but if you're in witness protection, shouldn't you have witness protection?
Oh, great. So all we have to do is find a house 3 blocks away from Lenox Heights Elementary School with an apple tree, wind chime made of spoons, and a 24-hour team of federal marshals surveilling the premises.
Oh, I bet that's why Owen's sneaking out at 9 o'clock.
Oh, they're changing shifts.
Or they're out getting dinner. I mean, that's what the feds were doing when they would stake out the man who lived in our garage.
Are you telling me you people really are from the post office?
Oh, yes. Uniquely gifted postal workers.
With a license to deliver.
And a deep faith in the power